It's just amazing, this house.
How fun.
Lots of happy memories here. The boys grew up part of their life here, so yeah. And my grandkids are here all the time now, so we get to share it with them as well.
To spill it?
No.
Stephen and Kim Forrest are trying to put a bad few months behind them.
Cup?
Is it in the cup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Hunter Valley grandparents came close to losing their home.
It's special because we've come from Housing Commission and this is our very first home.
They survived the collapse of their small business 20 years ago, but a credit card debt of $9,600 nearly derailed their lives entirely.
It's just devastating to think that someone can destroy your life in a blink of an eye. Over what? A debt that we were paying, you know? They've got no morals, I don't think.
When Kim injured her knee and had to stop work, they had a number of debts they struggled to pay on Stephen's truck driver wage alone, including an in-store credit card.
Oh, very, very tough. Very, very tough. I mean, we've had 2 wages coming in for years. So it's just Stephen. He's a sole breadwinner, which is pretty hard.
With the couple unable to manage regular repayments, the finance company eventually sold the debt onto Brisbane-based debt collector Lion Finance.
I got letters in the mail from credit people saying that they would look after our bankruptcy, and from the Salvation Army. And I just rang them and I said, what's going on? What's this bankruptcy about? And they said, well, you better ring Lion Finance and find out what it's all about.
Lion Finance was pursuing a forced bankruptcy, where a creditor can legally sue for debts as low as $5,000 and a court-appointed trustee can take control of any assets. Kim and Stephen's only asset was their family home.
I've heard of blokes with credit card debt and their wages are garnished. Why didn't that happen? Why did it go straight to bankruptcy? Bankruptcy is a pretty big thing. Well, to me it is anyway.
He was just devastated beyond words, really. People always have hard times. Be reasonable, accept what they've got to offer, and then do something about it if they renege on that.
And you said that your mortgage repayment...
So that could result in them extending
Then he
the term.
had to then stop working for a bit.
Consumer advocates like Karen Cox were alarmed about the rise in clients being sued for bankruptcy by Lion Finance, so they decided to investigate.
Bankruptcy proceedings should be used as a last resort, and in most cases the clients we're seeing do own their homes, which is why the debt collector is pursuing them through the bankruptcy courts. Then you are very likely to lose not only your home but tens of thousands of dollars more than the original debt.
Their 8-month investigation revealed a downward trend of forced bankruptcies overall, except for Lion Finance, owned by a publicly listed company called Collection House.
Lion Finance stands out as the debt collector using bankruptcy proceedings so much more frequently than any other debt collector in the market that it's absolutely astounding.
The company has sued 512 people for bankruptcy in the last financial year, almost double the number it took to court in the previous year. The next highest company was American Express, with only 119 cases. In 2017, Collection House changed its bankruptcy qualification rules so it could take action on smaller debts, in some instances as low as $6,000. Collection House also owns a law firm, CLH Lawyers, which it uses to take the matters to court and charge consumers legal costs.
They're very arrogant, they're very abrupt.
In 2016, Northern Territory MP Jeff Collins was working as a lawyer and paying off a number of debts following a marriage breakdown. He'd defaulted on a $6,000 credit card debt, and the debt was sold to Lion Finance, which took the matter to court.
was never able to come to a proper agreement with them because they were always demanding far too much money for what I was able to afford on a fortnightly basis. So requiring $500, for argument's sake, would be the minimum that they would come down to, and I just simply couldn't afford that.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
The court ordered Jeff to repay the debt directly out of his salary. When he was later elected to Parliament and began making payment from his personal bank account, the companies sued him for bankruptcy, claiming he'd changed the terms of their agreement by altering the payment method.
I received no correspondence, no communication, so no telephone calls either. And then I was served with a bankruptcy notice in August of 2017, which came as a complete surprise because I'd been paying the amount, the instalment amount for the 12 months.
Mr Collins went to the federal court and had the bankruptcy notice thrown out.
Caused me a lot of sleepless nights, and I think the message is that ultimately anybody can find themselves in this situation. This is a really embarrassing, a personally embarrassing thing for anybody who's involved in the same sort of circumstances. You don't like to talk about it.
We think that the bankruptcy threshold should be $50,000. It's way, way too low. When you look at the amounts of credit people are given without even blinking, setting it at $5,000 is just ridiculously low.
Lion Finance declined an interview, but in a statement said it was confident in its practices.
We make every effort to avoid legal action and only consider it as the last resort following numerous attempts and invitations for the customer to engage with us. The actual number of accounts progressing to bankruptcies is kept to an absolute minimum.
The Forests took out a loan to pay off the debt and ultimately avoided bankruptcy.
Good girl.
I want them to stop it. I want there to be something in place so they can't do this to people. There has to be some way to stop these people from doing this. Ethically, like, how can they do what they do and think that it's okay to do this to people?
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.